We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning. Welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak, sponsored by Renaissance Bank. Today is Monday, October 1st, and I'm your host, Elizabeth Walters. We're going to take a look at today's top news and sports stories across Northeast Mississippi, but first, a look at your weather forecast. Today we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 86 and a 50% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Tonight's low will be around 69. And over the next 3 days, on Tuesday we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 87 and a low of 68. On Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 88 and a low of 69. And on Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 88 and a low of 69. And now let's take a look at some of today's top headlines. An off-duty Mississippi Highway patrolman was killed and a suspect is in custody after a Sunday morning shooting. Law enforcement responded to Hatchie Bottom around 12:45 a.m. and found Ricky Dale Vick in Michigan City and patrolman Kenneth Jocelyn Smith suffering from gunshot wounds. Vick was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and Smith was pronounced dead on the scene. Troy Anthony Eaton of Renzi surrendered to law enforcement authorities around 5:30 a.m. Sunday, and he is currently being held in the Tippah County Jail without bond. An investigation is still ongoing. And after President Trump imposed tariffs on Chinese goods imported into the U.S. in July, and the Chinese retaliated, local farmers are bracing for the impact. In the first of a series of stories examining some of the most important issues heading into November's elections, we profiled the Campbell brothers, Tony, Roger, and Mike. Their farm around Baldwin is a third-generation operation, and they work the land about 1,800 acres themselves. Farming soybeans, the brothers say that they understand what's coming but still support what President Trump is doing on trade, hoping it will solve some long-range problems. And we also spoke with Mitchell Scruggs, who farms both cotton and soybeans, and he has the same view, saying that the president is trying to straighten things out. The Trump administration has announced a $12 billion aid plan to assist farmers hurt by trade tensions, and as far as the Republican politicians in the state, they're standing by the policy. And you can read more about where the state's Senate candidates stand on tariffs on djournal.com. And ticket pricing is now in effect for the Tupelo Transit system. During the first month of service, Tupelo Transit was free of charge, but a trip will now cost $2 for each one-way trip, with one transfer to another bus included. Transferring riders need to indicate such to the driver of the bus they are exiting so they can get a validation for a free transfer. And the city has announced that riders will be allowed to pay for tickets with a card, but if you're paying with cash, exact change will be required. During the first month, Tupelo Transit logged 1,240 rides on the fixed route, while the paratransit system had 509 rides. And there are some changes to the routes. The yellow route has been shortened, some by shifting some of its stops over to the green route, which now runs out to East Tupelo. And additional information on the system, including detailed route information and a dispatching phone number, can be found at tupelotransit.com. And in sports, Mississippi State and Ole Miss find themselves in identical circumstances after the first month of the football season. Both teams are 3-2 overall and have yet to win a conference game, and both offenses have slowed, as State has only scored one touchdown in losses to Kentucky and Florida, and Ole Miss has been outscored 107-23 by Alabama and LSU. Nick Fitzgerald said that while it's tough right now, State did lose to Auburn and Georgia in back-to-back weeks last season, and they were able to fight back. And for the Rebels, Coach Matt Luke said that he told his team that it's more important now than ever to stick together because this is when all the negativity creeps in. State will host Auburn this weekend with a 6:30 kickoff on ESPN2, while Ole Miss will take a break from SEC play to host Louisiana Monroe for homecoming at 3 o'clock on SEC Network. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Monday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. Each story discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Walters. Have a great afternoon.